First off, this is for anybody. You don't have to have a professional camera crew. You don't have to have fancy equipment. You don't have to have a big budget. All you need is your phone, right? Your phone, someone who can hold it there, and you're gonna create a 3x3 video grid. So 3 times 3, tic-tac-toe is 9. So you're gonna have 3 why videos, 3 how videos, and 3 what videos. So let's talk about what these are and why they're important, especially for success on Facebook. So your 3 why videos are stories. So maybe there's a why video that you say around how you started your business, around maybe a moment that reflects who you are because of a childhood experience, maybe going to school, maybe when you had your first child, something that reflects you as a human, right? It could be some stories that your staff have to tell. It could be stories where you interview customers. You're just trying to show that you are human and you're not just, some gigantic Home Depot, Lowe's kind of store. You want to show that you are the friendly, neighborhood, approachable retailer there to help, and you don't even have to try to sell. The whole point of a why video is just for people to see that you are a human being and you're approachable, you're friendly, and that's how people make decisions. Don't overthink it. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't want it to look like a commercial. It's just you holding an iPhone, someone else holding that phone, and just you tell a video. You tell a 1-minute story. When I was 18, I graduated college and I had to live on my own, and some kind of story, right? Just to show that you're human, and you can have different staff members tell their why stories. Start with 3 of them, right? Those are why stories. Then the how is you're showing expertise. Hey, I've got a new deck I'm trying to build in the back. Here's what I'm doing about that. Or something where I'm working on something in the garage. Let me show you show you what I'm working on and show you some of my expertise. Oh, I'm trying to, paint my bedroom. Well, here's what I'm doing with the paint. You're just trying to do the kinds of things that show that you have expertise, right? So the how is you're making 3 1-minute videos and you're sharing expertise. It could be any of your staff members, could be you, it could be customers, you're sharing expertise. And thus, when you do that, the potential customer is thinking, yeah, I feel like I can talk to them because I've already seen these why videos that demonstrate that I'm a human. Now it's going into the how. They're demonstrating some expertise. And then the what is, here's an item that we have on sale. We've got a 4th of July blowout sale, or here's something about our store and where it's located, and maybe we have a special offer going on, something where you actually are able to sell. And when you sequence from why to how to what, that's natural relationship building, because you've got to know, like, and trust in those stages, right? When you build a relationship, you can't come in and sell right away. You know that. You've got to establish that awareness. You got to drive it to the engagement, and then you can talk about the products and services, how long you've been in town, where it's located, the hours that you guys are open, right? You guys already know how to sell. The key to success on Facebook is you're going to tie these 3 layers together. And another way to look at that is you call it awareness, engagement, and conversion. You also call that why, how, and what. And that's the same thing as know, like, and trust. So if you have a 3x3, you have 3 videos in each of these areas, you can put them all at once. You can post them all at once on Facebook. You don't have to stagger them. You don't have to wait for a certain time of day, like, oh, I heard that Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. is the best time to post. Doesn't matter when you post, because when you put that all out there, let's say you post them, all 9 of them at once, what you're gonna do is set up remarketing audiences. So it sounds kind of fancy, but inside Facebook in the ads manager, you can create custom audiences of people who have seen video 1 for 10 seconds, or they've seen video 3 for 10 seconds. The default is they say 3 seconds for 365 days, which I don't think you should do, because people don't remember what happened 365 days ago. And 3 seconds isn't long enough for people to really get a sense of who you are. I know Facebook's gonna say 3 seconds. They have all this research that shows that 3 seconds is valuable. I'm old-fashioned, I like 10 seconds, because then they actually are paying attention. So when you set up these remarketing audiences, you can say anyone who's seen one of my why videos, I wanna then show them one of my how videos. If they've seen a how video, then I'm gonna show them a what video. right? And it's not something at the end of each video where you're trying to sell. It's when you watch one of these videos that puts that customer into a bucket, and then later in the next 7 days, 28 days, however many days, they're gonna see one of these other videos in sequence. It's gonna be in their newsfeed, right? And so you allow Facebook to do the work for you when you put these items together naturally into a funnel. So if people are watching any one of your videos, they're engaging on one of your posts, that puts them into a bucket where you're gonna show them the next item, right? So the more they engage, the further down the funnel, the more they're going to get more content from you. If they don't engage, it's not gonna trigger that next step. That's the beauty of Facebook, right? Because if I've got this 3x3, if I can touch them at any one of these points, Facebook's automatically gonna bring them to the next item down, all the way down to the next item down. And it doesn't require hiring somebody who's a professional, maybe digital marketer or some kind of computer programmer. It doesn't require an agency. This is something that you can do. You don't have to be technical. All you need is your iPhone. You film these 9 videos, 9 one-minute videos. It could be you. You could, in fact, do all 9 videos in one straight shot if you wanted to, and then cut them into pieces. There's software that you can use that's free to edit the videos, such as Splice. Apple's got Clips on the phone. There's a couple other software. There's tons of video editing software that you can use on your phone that's made for people that are not professional video editors. You could also submit that video to Fiverr. You could submit it to Fancy Hands. You could submit it to these other places where they charge you maybe $5 or $10 per video to edit them. You could go to local college, put up a job wanted ad and say, hey, I'll pay you $10 an hour, $15 an hour if you can edit this block of videos that I've created. And that way, you as an independent hardware retailer, you can play against the big boys because you only have to dominate in your city. Because you're building these relationships, and over time, people are gonna come into your store and they're gonna say, I saw you on Facebook. And then it's like you're a celebrity, right? And we've seen this happen all the time. We think that Facebook is the equalizer for small businesses. And it gets around technology. It gets around the fact that you don't have a professional camera crew. And in fact, if it looks like a commercial, people are not gonna trust it. The big boys, the Lowe's and the Home Depots, they're playing the big commercial advertising game, but you and I know that people are allergic to commercials. So the more you're able to humanize, the more, even with all the flaws, even with the bad lighting, even if you don't like your hair, even if you're just making up all these excuses about how you don't want to be on camera because you're busy right now, because you're redoing the website, because someone else should do it, because just if you can overcome those pieces. Oh, I don't want to look like I'm trying to be famous. I'm not trying to be, Tai Lopez or Gary Vaynerchuk or Tony Robbins. Fine, right? You can make 1-minute videos where you're interviewing customers. You're interviewing other people that are in the store. Hey, this is Sally, and then she's doing this as a part-time job. She works at the local college. She's doing this she's studying economics. You're just telling stories. Don't overthink it. The most real, raw kinds of videos, even with the ums and ahs, even though you might not have these, GQ kind of models, that's what people want. Think about how you make decisions, about what retail shops you're with because of the relationships that you build. And that's all you're really doing. So use the 3x3 grid, put together your how, why, what. And when you have that working, put $1 a day against each of these 9 videos. That means you're spending $9 a day. And then maybe when you find that that's working really well, next step, start to make other why, how, what videos, and then start to put them into your 3x3 as your greatest hits. And when you have ones that are performing better, right? You're playing winner stay on, you're putting more into this grid, and you're making this grid of 3x3 better and better and better as you have more shots on goal or more songs in your greatest hits library. Right? Think about that. Now Facebook is working to your advantage because anything that maybe you made a great video a year ago and you posted it on the page and you boosted it, that can still live today. We've seen posts that are 3 years old and they're still producing today. And if you think about building relationships and telling stories and demonstrating expertise, that is forever, right? That's evergreen. That's not based on the latest sale. That's not based on, people's relationships and telling stories is the kind of stuff that once you put that into the grid, you don't have to keep making more content all the time. And then you're gonna find that Facebook's gonna work for you, and that's how you are gonna beat the big boys out there, and you're gonna find success because you're gonna take what works already that you know in just the, offline relationships, the kind of etiquette that you already know. You're gonna translate that into Facebook, and I can't wait to hear how you guys are doing. Let me know.